I'm Rick Pekosh. I'm with the Advanced Technology Group. If you were familiar with the Washington System Center, those people are our peers. Our name's changed. It's kind of a long, involved story, but we don't need to get there. Our mission has not changed. You may have known us as ATS at one point, Advanced Technical Skills. Then we were at Washington System Center. Now for the last 4 years or so, we're the Advanced Technology Group. We're a group of DS8,000 subject matter experts, and we work with the field. So we're also in technical sales like they are. We're not IBM support. And what we do is we help with simplex deals all the way to complex deals, if you will. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through what we're going to cover today, and we'll all introduce ourselves at the end of this. You'll see in a minute. We are being recorded, just so you know. We've not done this before in this manner, so that's what Sean is here doing. Okay. So the purpose of our workshop is to educate you about our product set. We know you have choices. We'd like for it to be IBM. And we've been doing quite well thanks to our customer set. We have about 85% of the market now for Z attached. I'm not familiar with on the IBM I side. The product's also used by high-end IBI solutions, largely because of the advanced functions that we offer for high availability disaster recovery and cyber resilience, also in high-end AIX as well. We're going to cover the DS8000 product family. We'll go through the current G10 models. It's known as G10 for Generation 10. The product family first started in February of 2005 is when it first GA'd. And last October, the first two G10 models launched, became generally available, and there'll be two more coming up in the third quarter of 2025. We'll cover all the advanced functions that provide high availability disaster recovery and cyber resilience. We'll talk about our management tools, the DS8000 GUI, Copy Services Manager for replication, and Storage Insights and Storage Insights Pro for performance management. And I think many of you might use that today. We'll have demos throughout today and tomorrow for high availability. We'll show Metro Mirror with a hyperswap. We'll do high availability. We'll do some disaster recovery with Global Mirror and Metro Global Mirror. And we'll also show Safeguard Copy, which is cyber resilience. So you'll see these different demos for the GUI, for copy services. And Laurel Bauer will present tomorrow on IBM I, the Power HA tool set that IBM I uses for management. And then we'll cover sample real-world high availability disaster recovery and cyber resilience solutions. We'll show you what you can do with the product. And the things we'll show you, there are many more that you can do. We're going to show you what we see in the field. You will receive a link. It'll come from me next week at some point. I do have to be traveling early next week, but you'll receive a link into Seismic where we'll give you access to the PowerPoints and the recordings, and it'll be sent within a few business days. Think maybe like Wednesday of next week. Okay. And you can get the recorded sessions, so you can line up the PowerPoint with the session. So we'll break them apart so they're not just one continuous video, if you will. Q&A during the sessions, and we workshop survey. If you want to ask a question or have something to contribute, please do. If you want, you can raise your hand. Since this is being recording, whoever the speaker is will come to you because they'll be wearing a microphone, or we actually have another one that we can use as well. We take the survey. You'll see there's this page right here floating around the room. This is for Menti. We take the surveys very seriously, and it'll be the same access point for today and tomorrow. So it's actually two surveys, one for today, one for tomorrow. And we would like for you guys to fill that out. It's not complicated. This is a little bit about who ATG is. We've been doing this stuff for a long period of time. We offer a number of different workshops. Anything in blue on this page here refers to the DS8000. But we have peers in other parts of storage. So we have other workshops coming up. So there's one for Fusion and Ceph, which will be held at IBM's location in RTP in Durham, North Carolina. We have one on flash systems, a deep dive on that, which will be in May in Chicago at the Hyatt Center. And then we have one for storage scale, which will be in New York City in June. And currently we don't have one for the cyber resilience for IBM Defender. That has not been scheduled yet. We have a number of different demos which we can use that we can show you, or we can also do it for business partner skill development on the DS8000 GUI. We have it for Copy Services Manager for Flash Copy, for Gold Mirror with Practice, and we have one on Safeguarded Copy for an individual to do himself or herself, and we can do it. We can lead it for you to show you how Safeguarded Copy works. We do a number of different studies to help size solutions, and there'll be more about this later. Okay, we'll talk a little bit more about the different sizings we can do. But we can take customer data, empirical data, and perform a global mirror bandwidth study, which is used to help you size how much bandwidth you need for global mirror for asynchronous mirroring. We can do sizings for safeguarded copy for cyber resilience. We can do a parallel access volume analysis, make some recommendations if you maybe improve your usage of PAV. And then we can do transparent cloud tiering savings analysis. We do some work up front, and then one of our peers, Toy Pui Bandi, will do the actual study. So if you're interested in any one of these, please contact your account team representative or your business partner representative to either do a demo or initiate a study, or if you're interested in one of those other workshops. This is our team. The four of us are here today. We have a couple other teammates who aren't here, but Brian Sherman's in the back left. He's an IBM Distinguished Engineer. Dan Zainfenig is over there, or he goes by Dan Z. And then Tom Bish is sitting right next to Dan. We have part of our management team is here. So Kavita Shah, she's the ATT storage lead. She's right dead center in the fourth row, right there. Beth Stooges, you probably worked with her or talked to her to get squared away with coming here for the workshop. She keeps us in check. She's the program manager for all the different workshops we do and all of our ATG webinars. And Morris Davis is right there. He's a VP of Hybrid Cloud and Transaction Processing. John Thompson will be coming tomorrow. He's a lead designer for GDPS, and he'll be presenting. He's coming today, but he won't be presenting. He'll be presenting tomorrow. Steve Cook is one of his teammates. Steve will be doing a GUI demo of the GDPS graphical user interface. Laurel Bauer is from Expert Labs, and she'll give a presentation and a demo of the IBM what was formerly known as the IBM Toolkit, or Power HA Tools, right? Yeah. And then we have three guests who live kind of locally. Ron is pretty close because he lives in the Dallas area. Ron is with Worldwide Hardware Storage Sales, so he goes around and talks all over about the DS8000. Nick Chetta is the program director. He's in the back right. This is just a short drive from Houston, right? Yeah. So he's the product manager at DS8000, and sitting right next to him is Floyd Morrow, who owns CSM, Copy Services Manager, and TDMF, which is Transparent Data Migration Facility, which has been around since 1994. IBM acquired it in 2007. And they'll introduce themselves in a bit, okay? We've been offering Accelerate with ATG for many different years, many years, whether we were ATS, the WSC, or ATG. These are for customers, for business partners, and IBMers alike. We typically offer a couple per month. During COVID, we offered many more, actually, because we didn't have a chance to get together with customers. But if you're not already on our mailing list, you can send an email to accelerate-joint@hersley.ibm.com to be made proactively aware of what's upcoming. And you'll receive emails on what's coming. So here are three that are coming up in just the next few weeks. And we cover a number of different products. So the one on May 13th is Storage Virtualize. The one on May 20th is on the TS7700, which is our virtual tape solution. And then we have one on Storage Scale on June 12th. If you aren't able to attend those, you can go to this link here, and we'll talk more about this in a minute. I forgot 2020. I did a change all. This is my bad. And I changed 2024 to 2025, where I didn't want it to. But we keep them for the last 3 years, and you can go back and look at them on demand. So if you get tired of watching Yellowstone or The White Lotus or whatever, you can binge watch our stuff. Okay? We also have a media center where you can, we have different demos that are in there that you can play if you like. So this is a snippet of our homepage. So these are actually active links. If you were to come in here in the deck and click on that, or click on what's highlighted over here on the right, you can go right into our media center to watch those different demos. You can come here to sign up for what's upcoming in terms of the webinars that I just showed you. If you're not able to do that, you can come over here and open a Twisty for whichever year and watch them on demand. And we currently have 60 different webinars on tape, disc, software-defined storage, SAN, and we have other stuff too. Like every year, for example, Dave Peterson, who's the chief architect of GDPS, will present what's coming in the new release of GDPS, which happens every late March, early April. Is that right, Brian? Yeah, Brian's nodding his head yes. All right, so what are we going to do? Well, we are here in the introduction and welcome. And then when we get kicked off here, Tom and Brian will give you an overview of the product family, the features and functions, kind of at a higher level. We'll have a GUI demo, which I think Dan's going to do. And then Flash Core Module Gen 4 for ZOS. So we've taken the Flash Core module from Flash Systems, and it's now in the back end, or available in the back end of the DS8000. This is new with the G10 model. And then we'll wrap up. We will have a break in between here, and then we'll break for lunch. We'll take a full hour for that, okay? And then when we come back, we'll have an overview of Copy Services Manager, which is used to manage and monitor replication on DS8000. And we'll have a demo of CSM itself. We'll then have a discussion on Storage Insights Pro, and you're going to show that too, right, Dan? Yep. So you'll be able to see that. On the inset there, you can see the panel for Storage Insights. And then we'll have a discussion on Flash Copy and Safeguarded Copy to talk about what they are, and we'll have a demo of Safeguarded Copy. So Flash Copy, if you're not familiar, is point-in-time copy, and Safeguarded Copy is cyber resilience. And then we're going to have a couple guys come in from Brocade, and they're going to give you an overview of their product family. And then we'll wrap up for the day. And Brocade is sponsoring a happy hour at Whiskey Cake, which you're all invited to. I don't know if whoever your IBM or business partner hosts, but it's actually a very nice location, and we really love for you guys to join us, okay? And then tomorrow when we get started, if you can think of anything that you thought about overnight and you want to ask a question that we covered yesterday, or maybe tee something up for us as we go through tomorrow, please do that up front, and I'll cover this tomorrow when we get kicked off. And then we'll get into global copy. So we're going to start talking about the advanced functions that move data between machines. Global copy is a bulk data transfer utility. It also underpins both Metro Mirror and Global Mirror, but it's used to create a copy or migrate from one DS8000 generation to another, or from the same generation to another, or to set up a new environment. We'll talk more about that later. Locally, at either intra or intercontinental distance, it's a non-synchronous form of replication. What we're just showing here is from primary to secondary, but you most certainly can have a full cascade. So if you had a much larger solution and you were using TDMF to migrate from competitive hardware onto IBM, we would set up a series of cascaded global copies, and the TDMF would copy the data to the primary, and the DS8000s would replicate down the line. We'll talk about Metro Mirror, which is our version of synchronous mirroring, and that's meant for local or metro distance. Typically, nowadays when customers have 3-site and 4-site solutions, they'll only have 2 physical data centers, but they'll have a Metro Mirror pair, for example, maybe in a different aisle, different room, different floor, or different building for facilities type redundancy, so that you don't have a single point of failure from those different things. And generally, it's paired with HyperSwap for high availability. Really, if you're going to have a Metro Mirror solution, it's strongly recommended that you implement HyperSwap. It's been around since 2001. And then Dan will talk about that, and he'll have a demo of HyperSwap. We'll show you what it looks like on the mainframe, right? And you'll get to see how that works. But basically, HyperSwap can be implemented for both planned and unplanned outages. Planned would be, I want to move from my primary to my secondary to test it out, or maybe you don't like running on a machine when you're doing a code load, even though you can do it without interruption. Some customers prefer just to move over to secondary, make that the primary, and then do the code load on the other machine. Unplanned would be some unforeseen incident happened. The idea behind hyperswap is so that jobs can continue without restart. So the swap will happen in a matter of seconds, and the jobs will just continue to run from where they were. And that's just showing up where the primary and secondary for a planned hyperswap. I just reverse the direction. We'll talk about global mirror, which is asynchronous replication, which is used at both intra or intercontinental distance. I mentioned earlier we can do a global mirror bandwidth study. We would use that to help size a solution for appropriate bandwidth between sites to keep the recovery point objective low, which typically for most customers can be between 1 and 3 seconds, which is the best in the industry. And then we'll talk about combining all these different things into different types of solutions and what we see in the real world, whether it's high availability, disaster recovery, and or cyber resiliency. Usually one does not replace the other. Typically, if you're going to have a very robust solution, you would have high availability, disaster recovery, and cyber resilience. So here I'm just going to have this show you different possibilities at kind of a very high level. This is 2-site. This is 3-site. This would typically be metro mirror. 2 legs. One leg would be metro mirror, the other leg might be global mirror for out of region disaster recovery, or it could be multi-target metro mirror, and now we offer multi-target global mirror as well. But for the G10, that won't come until September. The code will be added back to the G10 to enable multi-target global mirror. We actually implemented it in December of 2023 on the previous generation. And then you go 4-site, and we've had many customers doing 4-site solutions where they do site swapping, toggling, region switching. They all mean the same thing. So for example, is a 4-site solution, primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary. And we have customers swap sites and run out of the other data center in reverse and set up metro mirror on the right-hand side and without interruption, and turn that global mirror around without having to do an initial copy. It's pretty impressive stuff. And then we'll talk about sizing solutions for the DS8000. We'll talk about different things we can do with the data, empirical data we can collect from you, whether it's from RMF or storage insights. And I'll talk more about what all those are if you're not familiar with those terms when we get to the sizing solutions. And then we'll wrap up and we'll have lunch, and then we'll get into some specialty topics. John Thompson will be here to give you an introduction to GDPS, and Steve Cook, his teammate, will give a demo of GDPS with the graphical user interface. That's what that part is. And then we'll have a discussion of IBM I, DS8000 IBI integration, and that would be Laurel Bauer. And then Tom Bish will talk about Cyber Vault, which is extending a solution with safeguarded copy, how to make use of those copies proactively. And Tom is nodding his head yes. And then we'll wrap up with a final Q&A. All right? You'll see on many of our decks, we'll have a reference material slide. These are all active hyperlinks. That blue bar is actually 4. If you click on the blue bar on the left on IBM documentation, you can go in there and search on anything you want. If you click on DS8A, it'll take you right there. For CSM, it'll take you to the current 6.3.14, I believe. Or if you want to click on safeguarded copy, that's within CSM for 6.3.14. You click on the Redbooks logo, it'll take you into Redbooks. You can look for anything you want. If you click on the ones in between, those are topical. You click on them, it'll open up the PDF. And you can see I was in there this morning. Actually, that's where that's lit up. And then we have Tech Docs, which is our longtime technical sales library, where we have a multitude of different items on tech notes and tips, white papers, flashes, presentations, and tools. The topic most people are interested in is this one here, the DS8000 Host Adapter Configuration Guideline, which I have a brand new one for the G10. And they'll be putting it into Tech Docs when they get back.